Hey guys, Jack here. I'm back. I had some technical issues. I did not know if anyone could actually hear the video, so I just stopped the stream. Didn't make sense. Sorry about that. I'll just start that video again, and it should work now. So let's just try it again. And we can talk about the cargo and everything else. Sorry guys, sorry about that.
In looking at the way that our teams are structured, especially after the Montreal merger with Turbulence, we just...
So whoever just came to the stream, I had to restart. I just want to talk, I just want to watch and talk about the new plans for cargo changes in 𝗙𝗏. And I restarted the stream because I think no one could actually hear the video in the background. So sorry about that, guys.
Decided to combine USPU as well as Montreal PU into NAPU.
NAPU stands for North American Persistent Universe.
NAPU is the regroupment of 3 different cities.
In order to kind of create a super team that gives them a lot of coding firepower as well as design firepower.
NAPU is really a collection of people from Austin, from LA, from Montreal.
We're all just getting together to try to make some amazing new features for 𝗙𝗏 PU.
So yeah, if you don't know about that, 𝗙𝗏, who is making 𝗙𝗏, they are actually growing significant. They bought Turbulent in Canada, which was an independent game studio in Montreal. They bought that, and of course they are in Austin and they are in Los Angeles. And these 3 locations they call now NAPU, North American Persistent Universe. So they are actually responsible for the persistent universe. Yeah.
So that includes physicalized cargo, in-game shops, and newer features that we're looking into, such as exploration.
We're working on mostly currently cargo and things regarding that. We recently finished work on the 𝗏𝗏.
NAPU was formed in order to work on larger feature sets for 𝗙𝗏.
He said he finished working on the 𝗏𝗏. We all know there should be they should revisit the 𝗏𝗏 for certain things. That's what I heard. I didn't try the ship yet, but I saw some funny memes and videos flying around on YouTube. So obviously there is still something to do with the 𝗏𝗏.
Those features have the time and resources required to deliver them at the quality level that we want to see. NAPU includes several engineers, production, and QA.
We have 6 different programmers, actually. We have a few that are in LA, and then we have a few more in Austin.
Right now that includes James, Mitch, Kevin, myself, as well as Preston on production and Alicia in QA. Did I say everyone?
We have 2, Mathieu and Emma, that are here in Montreal.
Yes, I think I got them all.
So at this point, a lot of what we're working on is still in the design phase.
I would say in the technical design and planning phase, but yeah.
There's a lot of TDD.
So that's not a lot of people, guys. I mean, if you think about it, this is the PU, the persistent universe. That's the game we are all playing every day, right? Right now in version 3.20. So, but that's like 10 people working on the PU. I don't think those are just dedicated people for the persistent universe cargo. I think they are responsible for the whole persistent universe. I'm not sure. Guys, if you know, let me know. I have no idea.
Technical design document going on, preparing the feature and all the parts. There's a lot of work in that area.
The North American Persistent Universe team are currently at the forefront of the next major evolution of cargo, hangar, and related inventory systems. And as their work begins to enter the PU over the next 3 to 6 to 9 months and beyond, all building to what we hope will collectively become a true cargo career, we here at 𝗙𝗏𝗏𝗏, well, we didn't want to wait to begin telling the story. As much like the engineering and resource management systems of the EU-PU team, this work promises to be utterly transformative to the overall 𝗙𝗏𝗏 experience. So these next 2 shows, well, they're going to be a bit different than normal. That's because we're not going to have anything to dazzle your eyeballs with just yet. Yes, the 𝗘𝗶𝘁 gameplay capture team, as great as they are, well, we're going to let them take a break this week as we let members of the NAPU team take you through the design and intention of their current work in a two-part special we're calling Design Brief Cargo Career.
Cargo career. Wouldn't that be nice to have a career as a space trucker officially?
The focus of NAPU in the foreseeable future is going to include features such as freight elevators and instance hangars, as well as persistent hangars. Freight elevators are one of the biggest changes to cargo that we've seen in the entire history of the game. They bring the feature from being something that's somewhat magical to something that's physical. It adds friction, but also a gameplay experience around hauling cargo in our game. This one addition, I think, is going to change not just cargo, but also the way that we interact with everything else in the game: inventory, player items, purchases, ship items. It's a fundamental change to how players are going to deal with the world. Freight elevators are going to be implemented as an access point inside of player hangars,
where the player can interface with cargo to get it ready to put it on their ship.
and you'll use a kiosk to interact with the freight platform in order to call things up from your inventory or to put things into your inventory. The way that the freight elevators are going to be implemented is actually using the same technology as we use for the cargo grids in the ships. Players will be using their tractor beams in order to detach things from the platform and then haul it onto their ship, and vice versa. They'll be using the tractor beams in order to detach things from the cargo grids and put them onto the freight platform.
I don't know about you guys, but that sounds like added time in the game, which I don't have, right? I mean, hopefully we'll watch the whole thing, but man, that sounds like a lot of work. A freight elevator, then you have this special screen where you, I guess, call your freight, and then you have to move it around in your hangar. I like the persistent hangar idea. It's not an idea. It's not a new idea. It's something Star Citizen planned for a long time. So yeah, we'll have to see. But I have so many items in my inventory I can actually use to decorate my persistent hangar.
I think that this is going to make the whole experience feel a lot more tactile and organic, as well as there's a lot of fun and interesting gameplay around just how you stack things, how you sequence them, take a group of people, decide how you're actually going to load things together. It's like that time that you go and move with a U-Haul and your friends, you got to figure out where to put the couch, but in-game. It's going to be figuring out where do we take that big box, where do we put the ship items, where do we put the guns, and try to sequence it in a way that's both optimal as well as, I think, fun.
We don't just want to have the feature, exist in a void. Really what we want to try and do is work with the whole scope of the game to support cargo. So this is something for outposts, for UGF, where we want to look at how do we really take advantage of cargo in these spaces.
Underground facilities.
However, it does mean that the outpost will also support the same manual loading process that the hangars and those other locations use.
So not only are you participating in cargo, in a hangar, in a station, but out in the verse as well, at an outpost.
At an outpost. This is awesome. This is what I like. So I could actually load certain things in an outpost. Not only my persistent hangar, and I guess, and that would be awesome, friends could join you in your persistent hangar and then play with you inside that hangar. You can collect weapons and get ready for your fight or for exploration. I mean, that's awesome. Store some food and drinks in your hangar, maybe in some special cabinet. That would be awesome.
And while freight elevators will be available throughout locations in the persistent universe, much of the work involved in manually loading and unloading your vehicles will always involve your hangars, which presented the team with some unique challenges to address and overcome, starting with the next iteration of instanced hangars.
There you go.
Instanced hangars solve a particular problem. How do we have people spending an extended period of time in their hangar loading cargo now that we've added these freight platforms, but also allow the locations to have traffic coming in and out of the landing zones? What we're doing here is decoupling the access to a hangar from the occupancy. And all that really means is that we can dynamically create these hangars at runtime, and they're kind of set aside for players to spend time inside of.
Without getting too much into it, right, you're gonna have a personal space. We're just looking at ways that a lot more players can do this simultaneously.
That guy, he looks like some kind of next door neighbor to me. What's his name? Mitch? He doesn't look like a, I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't want to offend him, but he doesn't look like a game designer.
We don't want to have a big choke point of everybody trying to
looks
load
like
their
your
ships
friendly
and
neighbor.
unload, and all trying to do that in the same space. So we have instance hangars as a way to put you in an area where you can feel comfortable. You can take the time that you want to load or unload your cargo, and really engage in that system the way that you choose.
And so you can actually have your personal space to deal with cargo inside a hangar. And depending on your ship, there'll be different situations and different locations for that.
But the thing with this one is that when you leave, things gonna basically go away.
Once you want to leave, you'll just make a request to ATC, and the hangar will move into place. We'll open up the doors and you'll be able to leave. And then the same thing when landing, you make a request to ATC. The system will allocate the space for you, open the hangar, and you can land. For the players, it will seem seamless, but underneath the hood, the system itself is going to be maintaining a representation of where all the players are, what requirements are needed, without having a bottleneck for players who are actually just trying to play the game otherwise.
So basically, that is a funny picture here. But basically, under the hood, so if you request to land, the game will load your hangar for you. You fly in, the door closes, no one else can see it. It's only for you. And then maybe from the inside, from a station, your friend has access because he's in your party. That's how I understand it. And then when you fly out together, the game closes the door. It basically stores everything away as it was when you left, but it basically unstreams all the assets. Everything is gone. It was simulated for you. And then, okay, that's fine. If I have the seamless experience, landing at my hangar, open the door, and I see what I have left, that would be totally amazing. I don't care how they do it under the hood. I mean, it's interesting, the technology and everything they use, and it's important for the game not to overload the game and all that. I get that.
And then we have persistent hangars. Persistent hangars are kind of an evolution of instant hangars, and really.
Oh, okay, so now I'm confused. So you have persistent hangars and you have instant hangars. So the instant hangars they are going away. And the persistent hangars.
Really what it is it's our first step towards real player ownership in the game beyond ships.
The cool thing is that you'll be able to put your stuff in it, come back to it, and it's still gonna be there.
It's just whatever the player wants to keep inside their hangar, that's their home. They can just leave them lie around.
Why we need two different ones?
Be it weapons or.
Why we need two different hangars? So I guess one is only for loading, unloading regular cargo. But if you want to play with your stuff, then you have your persistent hangar. Okay, someone needs to explain that to me. Why we do have two different hangars? I don't know.
Cargo or dead corpses or whatever.
That's
very,
funny.
Very long term. I have no clue of.
I know a lot of people would do that.
But you'll be able to customize it and upgrade it so it becomes bigger. You can have bigger ships in them, and maybe at some point even having them like at distant location. You could buy a second one. For now, it's going to really be on your own location.
It's persistent to you and your character. And you can invite friends to your hangar. You can load up your ship. You can take the haul from your mission, out of your ship and distribute it to your buddies. So persistence of hangars is really important.
This is going to be developed more in the future, and we're going to use the same technology that we're using to build this for other things in the game, such as player hubs. And it's a real, I think, exciting way for the players to feel like they have a more permanent place in the game that they can call their own.
I can't help but know.
Hey, 8-Bit, how you doing, man? Hope you're doing fine. How's the computer, man?
Notice the ISC gameplay capture team snuck some conceptual visualization in there after all. What can I say? They love what they do. And of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't say that everything you're hearing about today is the current intention of the design team at the time that we film this. Now, as with all things you see and hear about on any ISC, it's always a work in progress, and may, and often will, continue to evolve as development progresses and concepts are tested. Now,
so what he said just now is, this is all just, it's just ideas, right? And yeah. Yeah, 8-Bit, I'm watching the new cargo ideas from Star Citizen, so nothing really you can hope for right now in the near future. It's very interesting. I like the idea of persistent hangars. I don't know why they need two different hangars though, instant hangars and persistent hangars, but yeah. Oh, you're a fast worker, my friend. So you have your streaming PC already set up. That's awesome.
so far in our design brief cargo career,
Awesome.
we've talked about how you'll move and store your boxes. So let's find out more about what happens inside those boxes going forward.
Okay.
With 320, we introduced a new packing system that allows us to use a larger set of box sizes. Right now, that includes 1 SEU, 2, 4, 8, 16, 24, and 32.
Man, I
However,
can't wait
with
for those
this new
containers,
version of
man.
cargo coming out subsequently, we're going to be adding the ability to have what we call inventory container boxes.
Inventory actually plays a big part of cargo as well. When you look at the sheer scope of number of boxes and number of weapons and armor and FPS entities that we have in our game, we really want to make sure that not only is cargo physicalized, but that inventory has a proper location and place as well.
If you go to Port Tressler and you hit I, you'll bring up the player inventory screen. And you'll see that, okay, I have my access to Port Tressler inventory no matter where I am standing in the station. That's going to go away. This is very important because what it means is it gives the players a way to transfer in a very clean and effective way all of the loose items that you collect during gameplay.
A big change that's coming up is going to be having properties for those boxes. So that could be something like a box that's fragile.
So I don't understand. Where's my inventory going
Or
then?
a box that could be radioactive. Or that needs to be kept cold. The other thing we're looking at with cargo and cargo boxes is the ability to store large items in your cargo boxes. This could be anything from a ship weapon to even smaller vehicles like Grey Cats. That way, when you're going with your friends, you're going to do a long haul across the verse, you can have these larger boxes filled to the brim with as many ship weapons as...
So it sounds to me like we have to have those boxes to access all the stuff we own, and I do not have access anymore when I push my button I on my keyboard. Wait a minute. Why?
your ship is going to carry.
Anything that you think you want to take with you and hold on to, now you can put them in an inventory container box, snap them into the cargo grid, and haul it into your ship. Additionally, you'll be able to take those to the freight platforms in order to put them into your inventories. So it gives a kind of universal way to haul things around in the game, as well as a way for players to be able to pirate player inventories now.
But they said, access to the inventory by pushing button I is going away, which was a really easy way to access your inventory. I don't know. That's weird. how do I do this then? All the time with boxes?
Now that you have these goods that are locked up together in these inventory containers, it just takes a tractor beam in order to carry them off. So it gives a lot of gameplay possibilities for us to have with these loose items.
Sounds like a lot of work.
A lot of these things will tie into missions and
Oh.
where you decide to place them on your ship. So we're really trying to make sure with cargo, it's not just a wide system, but that we're actually adding these kind of elements to help further gameplay, missions, and purpose.
Okay.
You guys had the week off. This is a design brief show. It's talking and it's intense, and none of this stuff is ready to show yet. Don't you want a week off? Your stuff's so weird anyway.
What?
No weird stuff for Cargo Grid. Back to the
Yeah.
spaceship.
For sure they will do something weird for Cargo Grid.
We have some additional changes that we're going to be making to the cargo grids that allow them to have any sized item attached into them.
That's awesome.
At the moment, we have effectively one kinds of items that attach to the cargo grids. Those are the cargo boxes, and they all have a similar size step on the dimension. And what I just mean by that is they're all what we call 1 SEU length, multiples on each side. We're going to have it to where anything can attach to the cargo grid, as
crazy.
long as it's a physical item in the game. Anything that you can grab with that tractor beam that can reasonably snap into place will be able to snap into place. And this is a requirement just to satisfy the
So don't take this
inventory,
serious,
changes
okay?
that we're making now that you won't
What
have
you
this
see in
kind
the
of
video.
magical access. But it also, I think, broadens the horizons about what your cargo grid and all of your ships can be used for. I think it'll also open up a lot of fun gameplay around just figuring
This
out
is
how
cool.
to arrange all these things in a way that
Yeah, you know, guys, it is true. There's people, including Salty Mike, they organized, you know, a group of people who sell stuff in the game. They could actually really do that showcasing in a ship and present their cargo to other players and snap it actually in place with the new cargo grid. Awesome.
works well.
So yeah, that's part one of our talk about Design Brief Cargo Career. Next week, we'll be back with changes to vehicles and location inventory, larger cargo item support, kiosk changes, the item bank, and even unique item recovery. So come on back and get the full scope of things next week. And as testing and fixing continues on Alpha 320 over on the P2 with the latest additions to Arena Commander and the
All right,
Persistence-
guys, that was part number 1, and today they continue with part number 2, and I'm
So
very
basically,
interested in it.
Is what we like to call it. It was like USPU before. We had Intel PU. We had the Austin guys. I'm not sure if they add an acronym. So I guess North America PU made sense.
Do you like NAPU as a name?
Yeah, it's all right. It sounds like NABU almost.
Why should we care about cargo? Or why should you care about cargo? And to me, the answer is because I never thought of Star Citizen as just FPS. In fact, I would say the thing that makes me the most excited about Star Citizen is that it's a whole world of people who have their own ambitions and goals, and they're interested in different things. And to me, cargo represents a way to get into the world, to play with your friends in order to engage with other players, even in this dynamic way. You have all of this player interaction that comes around hauling the cargo, dealing with pirates, hiring people to defend yourself from pirates. And it
That's
generates this
awesome.
whole kind of economy and simulation of player interactivity. And I think this kind of thing is at the root of what makes Star Citizen special. Today in the game, we've had all of this, what I call instantaneous cargo.
When you're in the real physical world, things don't just appear and disappear in your car, right? A person going to Costco, they don't just click on a few
Hey, Fox Creative. I am not really a cargo runner, but sometimes I do cargo missions. We don't have cargo missions, sorry. But I do, like, I pick it up and I bring it somewhere, I sell it. What I do like is mining, refining, and then I pick up, I collect everything, which is difficult between patches because, you know, refined jobs always get, you know, deleted from your inventory. But yeah, that's what I like. Then I pick it up with my cargo ships and I bring it most of the times to Louisville and sell it. So yeah, I love cargo, but I would like to have cargo missions, like real cargo missions where you get real good jobs to pick up bigger loads, you know, like 2,000 SEU and bring it somewhere, or you have a crazy mission where, you know, you can make a lot of money, but it's a risky job. That's what I would like in the game. They don't have it yet, but yeah, I do a lot of mining and salvaging. So yeah, absolutely.
You think the kiosk and it magically appear
I love
at the
mining.
back trunk of the car.
That kind of magic way of
And I love my vulture.
opening inventory.
Vulture salvaging is awesome.
It's gonna become that warehouse inventory.
With these new changes with the freight platform and the cargo grid and inventory container boxes and needing to move things manually with the tractor beam, it is going to add a certain amount of friction into that whole experience.
The benefit of manual loading is really that you get to choose how you organize your cargo and how you get to load it on your ship. You know, you've got one guy that's loading the bigger boxes with the vehicles. You have your other friend that's loading in, you know, your ship weapons. Another maybe is loading up commodities for a long haul. And you can organize that, snap everything to the cargo grid, tractor beam it onto your ship, and head out with your friends for an adventure across the verse.
Well, you can do this right now, in my opinion. It just doesn't snap to the cargo grid. Only certain boxes snap to the cargo grid, not the weapons and all that. But with the changes coming, or the plan changes, I have to say, coming to the game, you can do that. Yeah. You do a lot of mining. So do you, Fox Creative Gaming, do you mine with the mole or with the prospector, or hand mining, rock mining, which I didn't do in a long time, and I have to do rock mining, man.
The cargo career is at the heart of what Star Citizen aims
All
to
mining.
achieve. Not just a universe
try
of
salvage yet?
exploration and conflict, but one of commerce and opportunity as well. And last week we shared the first part of its next iteration with a discussion of freight elevators, instanced and persistent hangars, varied cargo boxes, and a new cargo grid that'll expand the possibilities of your ships in new and exciting ways. So here in part 2, we're gonna dive a little deeper into the systems underpinning it all, starting with how we intend inventory to evolve next.
Yeah, this is very interesting. So the first part was kind of really confusing about inventory and instant and persistent hangars. I don't know why they want to create two different hangars. I think one is just for cargo hauling, and the other one is for your personal items and ships and you know, displays and clothes. And so yeah, don't know. We'll see what they say. And the inventory was kind of iffy. They want to get rid of the I button on your keyboard. This is crazy. I need my I button.
Speaking of inventory changes, this leads us to what I think is one of the other very big transformations that's happening with these new sets of features.
So instead of having something like a magical bag of holding, you actually have a place where you can go to put your items, to store them, and you know that it's safe while you go out and do future travels. One thing that we want to do is really kind of physicalize inventory in terms of you need to be at a specific location to use that inventory and management. So this gives us a lot of benefit across the game, where you know exactly where your stuff is and where to get it and where to go to organize it.
Now you'll be accessing that inventory via the freight platform and the hangars. You'll be using the freight platform to put it down. If you want to take something out, you use the freight platform to take it out. And you can use these inventory container boxes that I mentioned previously in order to optimize that kind of hauling. Let's say you realize you have a lot of guns that you want to take with you. Well, in the kiosk inventory management screen, you can move those items into a single box to aggregate them together so that you just use one pass with the tractor beam.
That is pretty cool.
To move it all onto your ship. It also means that you'll have the ability to haul larger things in the game more efficiently by taking them and putting them into.
You can do this now. I mean, guys, you can do the same. You are able to do this now. You just need to farm those boxes, have them in your ship, and then pull it from the, you know, space station inventory into that. I'm not sure if it's working with weapons though. I never tested that. I think you can move weapons as well. But yeah, so you have basically a screen in your hangar, and you organize everything with that screen and boxes. Wow. Yeah. 𝗙𝗶𝘁𝗶𝘁𝗶 Gaming, and I think they will talk about this as well. Those bags, I mean, you can handle those bags right now, but it's very difficult. This way, you go to your hangar, you load them into that freight elevator in boxes or in those bags, and you can store them, or let other people also manage them and bring them to a refinery would be awesome. And you know what we need, 𝗙𝗶𝘁𝗶𝘁𝗍 Gaming? We need refinery ships. Where is the 𝗙𝗶𝘁𝗁, the companion to the Prospector? That ship should be ready by now, really.
These larger boxes, such as ship items that maybe you
that would be
purchased
awesome.
Or stole.
If you want to do some kind of underground assaulting mission, you just bring your big guns and everything, and you also load that into your ship. So everything is going to be really physicalized, and no more kind of magic stuff popping here and there.
In addition to the freight platform access, we want to give players the ability to access smaller items without having to go to a hangar. And for this, we're going to add some kind of what I call an item bank. And this is just like a secure box kind of access point in the landing zone, so that you don't have to go to a hangar, and it'll look very similar to the other personal inventory interactions. And you can move smaller items around there, such as handguns or metapins. But again, tying it to a physical location in the game and getting rid of this kind of magic.
So getting rid of kind of magic means getting rid of quality of life. This is crazy. Everything's going to be physicalized. Everything's going to be movable in your hangar, and you have now 2 different screens. You have one for bigger items, one for smaller items. Oh, man. I don't know, man.
We're taking that and also applying it to the inventory in the vehicles. Right now in the game, you can hit I while you're inside of a vehicle, and you'll see a similar kind of invisible magical inventory for the vehicle. We're going to be getting rid of that and instead replacing it with a combination of access points like glove compartments in the ship, as well as those inventory container boxes, so that you'll still be able to haul personal items and larger vehicle parts between locations in the game.
We do have
to do
those
it in a way that's physical.
We do have those storage boxes inside ships, like what they showed here was the Scorpius. And yeah, but if you die, if your ship explodes, the stuff is gone, right? Happened to me the other day. My first live stream in 320, I died with the Scorpius, and I just loaded some stuff in it.
Tied to actual entities that are attached to the cargo grid, as well as exposing it in a way for people to be able to reclaim them from a wreckage, or maybe even pirate.
Oh, okay.
So, lots of changes coming with everything being physicalized, everything stored in boxes, and no more magic bag of holding. But how will you inventory your inventory? Well, that's where the new hangar kiosk comes into play.
Freight elevators are going to be implemented as an access point inside of player hangars, and you'll use a kiosk to interact with the freight platform in order to call things up from your inventory or to put things into your inventory.
The player controls the freight elevator through the freight elevator kiosk because we have to coordinate between 3 different doors. The kiosk is what determines when the door should open, when the door should close, when the cargo get loaded and all that stuff. So that is the physical thing that's basically gonna bring up cargo for you and then also like
Man, it
take
sounds
cargo
complicated.
from you when you sell it.
The kiosk is going to be the center point of the hangar. This is really where you'll manage everything. So it's not just the cargo stuff that you manage through the kiosk. You will be able to manage your inventory, basically bringing up the stuff, sending it back. It's also going to be those small items. You also going to have some sort of inventory box that you will be able to interact with, to put stuff in it. Basically, everything is going to go through that kiosk. So everything is central to the kiosk.
Wow.
It's easy to see how all of this will redefine the open sandbox experience at the core of Star Citizen's persistent universe. But what if a cargo career isn't for you? What if you just like to run the occasional mission? Don't want to spend your time?
But this is not only about the cargo career, it's about my inventory, my spacesuits, my armor, my weapons. Right now, if I hover above a space station or outpost, I can access, I have to exit my seat in my spaceship, but I'm able to access the inventory with in that space station without getting out of the ship. And I can, if I forgot a helmet or something, it sounds like I can't do that after all those changes are being implemented.
Loading boxes or prefer speculating on the market economy around it all? Well, the purview of NAPU is to construe for you, too.
We are going to have missions in the game that latch on to this. So for example, you'll be able
Oh, so you are fine with that? Okay. So I know that Star Citizen, the persistent universe, was always meant to be a simulation, like a real-life simulation. I get that, you know. I'm just thinking about people who don't have 5 hours a day time to play this game, and they have to prep themselves for missions and stuff. I hope they do it in a way you can really access your hangar quick. You have your monitor, you load things quick, and you can get them in your ship and out. And maybe some ships will have that monitor in the ship. It's a good idea, actually. So you can access things in your ship quickly. Not sure. Because they want to get rid of that I button, right? I love my I button.
to take a mission where a corporation like Crusader will ask you to haul their cargo for them. And this is an opportunity for players to engage with this kind of gameplay of hauling and manual loading without having such a large investment in the game. Right now, cargo has largely been required to have a large investment, speculation, and risk on the part of the players. And where we're going is we're going to be reducing that risk for certain sets of players who don't want to engage with that kind of speculation, while still allowing them to have this kind of fun, manual loading, kind of packing experience. On the other hand, if the thing that you are more interested in is that kind of speculation and that kind of trading and wheeling and dealing and trying to just cut the best profit, we are still going to have a certain amount of automated loading in the game. It just won't be instantaneous. You'll have to use a service. It'll cost a little bit more. It'll take time. You won't have access to your ship while it's being loaded.
Oh my gosh.
But, you know, depending on the kinds of gameplay that you're looking for, if you enjoy that more physical kind of gameplay, we'll have that there for you. If you're more interested in just kind of profit trading, we'll also have a path for you there too. So I think in this kind of new world of cargo and all these new features that we're coming out with, we're trying to make sure that for all the people that are looking to play with this, that there's something there for them.
Okay.
And of course, all of this comes with a large amount of economy tuning that's going to need to rebalance things now that we have physicalized movement, guaranteed friction on the transactions. So all of these things we can use to rebalance it and hopefully make it to where if you're interested in taking high risks, there's a path for you to maybe get a better profit. Vice versa, if you don't want to, there's still a way for you to be able to play the game and not be overly punished. That's going to be an ongoing endeavor, and we'll talk more about that as we get closer to release.
Okay.
So lots of changes coming to Star Citizen with the work being done by the North America Persistent Universe team. So let's go ahead and let them bring it all home and see if we can't maybe just sneak in one more tiny, big addition people have been waiting forward to.
Another big thing that we're working on is unique item recovery. This is something that the fans have been asking for a long time.
Please.
And we're hoping that it's really going to finally resolve this problem of losing items or losing items mid-mission.
Oh my gosh.
It looks like a simple subject, but there's a lot of little things to think about, like people buying some gear, giving to their friend and claiming it back. What happens to the version that was given to their friends, or even like if your buddy gets looted by somebody, how do we want to kind of cope with that?
So one of the ideas that we have running right now is that you would have a lost and found within your hab. So if you're playing, your mission crashes, you lose your progress, but you can go back to your hab, restart that mission, grab that item, and continue on where you left off. And we're really hoping to apply this to subscriber items and other unique items as well.
I think in the long run, we have a lot of plans. Just really trying to build out a feature set that can incorporate a lot of different ships, that can incorporate your teams, that allows you to be more in control and allows you to try to find the best ways that work for you.
That's going to be a problem because everything has to be tweaked to different ships, different vehicles. That's going to be a big change. As he said right now, Mitch is his name. This guy, I think he's actually the boss of this department. I'm not sure. But yeah, they have so many ideas and it's going to be very tricky to implement all of them. I hope they do a good job. I'm confident they will do a good job. And if they get started now with the economy, they said they have a new economy team as well. Well, if they work hand in hand now together to get this done, that's what we need.
And your group, and right now, that's the main thing we're working on.
Our universe is big. We're going to keep building more systems, more planets, and we really want to find a way to make that exciting. We want to have you take goods from one planet to the other, explore places that you haven't seen, loading up, organizing all of your gear, all of your equipment.
Those weird
having it
videos.
snapped to a grid, keeping everything safe. And it's a huge part of Star Citizen and where we want to go with the game.
That is a summary of that we're working towards for physicalized cargo. Now, this is going to be an ongoing process, starting with the first set of changes coming out with 320, automated loading in with the 𝗘𝗶𝘁 and the new packing system that's coming out there. But we'll continue this work of adding these things like freight elevators, hangar instancing, persistent hangars, inventory containers, all of that, and continuing into subsequent releases. So I hope you enjoyed hearing about it, and I think I'll be back a few more times to get into more details about those things.
I look forward to seeing what they're developing in the future, and then also showing it off to the community and team.
Wow.
So what did we learn in the last 2 weeks? Whew. Well, we learned that freight elevators will allow us to fulfill the dream of fully physicalized cargo. That instance hangars will give us the time to load and unload our ships without creating too many traffic jams. That persistent hangars will be the first real estate players can decorate and call their very own. That cargo boxes are expanding to hold all kinds of stuff from personal inventory to ship weapons to even some small vehicles themselves. That this all means a new way of storing and moving your inventory all around the galaxy. Utilizing the new hangar kiosk will certainly help. That everything from missions to economy will expand and rebalance to accommodate for this. That there's still going to be some automated options for those willing to spend the time or the money, and that there's finally a light at the end of the tunnel for lost items in the works. Well, you could say it's a pretty good haul overall. I'm not usually the pun guy. Now don't forget that Alpha 320 is out there for everyone to play, and that CitizenCon is just 4 weeks away.
CitizenCon.
Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee.
Oh, man.
Thanks for letting us share the process of game development.
I'm going to be live
we'll
here.
See you all here next week.
I'm going to be...
And breathe.
Man, he has some health issues, man. He can't breathe. Physicalized cargo, lots of changes. 320 is live. Wow. CitizenCon is just around the corner. I will be live doing CitizenCon, hopefully here on YouTube and Twitch, to see what's new, and we'll follow the live stream from Star Citizen, the official live stream. What I want to show you next, I don't know if I have to switch here quickly. Yeah, I want to show you also the release view. They updated, so we get some new locations from the Crusader platforms. They are planned for 320. So in one of the next updates, they're gonna implement those missing, which they were announced already. Those platforms in Horizon, on Crusader, and with that will be a lot of new missions coming. By the way, gameplay. Well, we know what's released right now. We have new salvage contracts. The tractor beams are coming. Wow, that's a big thing. I can't wait for that, and hopefully they will bring a video about it very soon, or maybe they will talk about doing CitizenCon. We have the cargo updates physicalized for the 𝗙𝐶. It's not perfect. We heard from a lot of people. They have a lot of missions. Retrieve consignment. That's something I'm looking forward to. That's the cargo missions I want, where you have to pick up a certain kind of cargo and you get money for that, right? That would be awesome. So that's in the works for 320. So that should be out by the end of the year. So until the end of the year, I would say. And then Arena Commander, we have some new maps. They are already released. Unfortunately, some of them are in rotation, and some modes, actually some game modes are in rotation. There is a schedule for that. You have to look up that schedule when they are accessible in Arena Commander. To be honest, I did not test the Arena Commander yet, so but I will, of course. We'll see. So yeah, everything is released, and then yeah, let's close the gameplay and open the ships and vehicles. And yes, the Argo SRV is coming. There's for sure a lot of fans out there who are really excited and waiting for that ship. Awesome. The Tumbril Storm is on the horizon. Should be implemented with 320. I'm not a big fan of that. But Crusader C1 Spirit, awesome. The A1 Spirit is coming. Yeah, great ships. I think they have the right size for, especially for new players. Hopefully, they will create some new player packages with those ships. And the 𝗙𝐶 is released, and of course, they made some improvements to the handling of vehicles. Guys, that's it for this week in Star Citizen. I know there's a lot of discussion about the 𝗙𝐶, the cargo changes, and now with these two videos from the last 2 weeks, there will be a lot of discussions out there about, how we access inventory, the persistent hangars, the instant hangars, 2 different hangars, and new screens to handle those, and yeah, tractor beams. So guys, if you have comments, if you have ideas, opinions, drop them in the comment section below. Start a healthy discussion about it. I'm very interested what you all think about those changes and these ideas. And yeah. Oh, any servers down, or am I missing something? 8-bit, yes. That is a problem right now. Let's check the status live here. Should be operational. Degraded performance, persistent universe, degraded performance. So it might be that right now a lot of people try to join. I don't know what you're seeing on your screen. Can you explain what you are seeing on your screen when you try to join the game? Let me switch to game and I will start it as well, just to see. Yeah, I heard that many people have issues to actually get into the game. Let's see what happens here on my side. I'm not going to play right now. I have different plans already. My schedule is tight in real life as well. So, but yeah, let's just see if I can get in. No servers show up on persistent universe. Wow, that seems odd. So you don't see anything? Like when you have to choose America, US, or automatically, something like that. Let's see. Let's go in. The only thing I did today was playing around with my joystick and my throttle, because the keybinds have changed. So I try to set that up for the next gameplay. So, Ender Star Citizen. Looks like I have no problem. I don't know what you mean, no servers show up. I'm just logging in. And I use a best server as an option. You could choose, you know, Europe or, yeah. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, everybody, I'm on Twitter, and everybody said, give it a couple of days. Give it a couple of days time. People have issues to get into the game. Then they have issues inside the game. So, yeah, every time they drop a patch, they have those issues. Because a lot of people try to get in. Yeah, but I'm in, actually. Yep. Oh, and they run Jumptown. I see it right now. That could create a lot of issues as well. Those dynamic events. Let me check how many people are in the server. 82 people of 91. So 91 people or players capacity. Yeah, let me read here. It's Bonnie22 is now following. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow. Anyway, so yeah. It's working for me. I'm not going to play right now. Let me go to the elevator and see. Elevator works. That's usually an indicator if it's good or bad. Lobby. It's going well. How about you? So everything works, and it's actually very smooth. 𝗏𝗏. No problem. Game is running. Must be on your side, I guess. So, guys, thanks for watching. I just wanted to catch up on those videos from Robert Space Industries on YouTube about the cargo changes, and look at the release view. And that's it, guys. I see you in the verse very soon. Have a good night. Bye.